When Christian Dior Parfum first came to us with the idea of doing this exhibition on René Greux, we were obviously very excited about it. There's something about René Greux, you know his pictures, you know, they've stuck in your mind, they're in your consciousness. Well, Greux was a master of illustration, and he's known as the illustrator's illustrator. I think it's to do with the fact that his style was so simple, deceptively so. You know, he used fluid lines and bold silhouettes, but he also had a very interesting way of using negative space. So I think his drawings are so simple and so modern, and I think they stand the test of time today, certainly. René Greux and Christian Dior were great personal friends, and they first met in the 1930s on the news desk of Le Figaro, where they both worked as fashion illustrators. So they had a long personal relationship, and they'd been through hardships together during the war. And of course they came from the same backgrounds. They had very similar bourgeois upbringings. So there was this deep and profound understanding of each other. So when Christian Dior first launched the new look in 1947, he naturally turned to his friend Greux to illustrate the couture drawings.
Rustles of spring are heard on the Paris fashion front in an afternoon frock of flowered shantung. And a trip into the past to the Impressionist school, where colors and materials are blended into a superb evening creation of chromatics. Truly a gown for the grand entrance, with a décolletage that is eye-catching.
So later that year, in December, Dior asked Greux to illustrate the drawings for his first perfume, Miss Dior. And he said to him, do what you want. You know, we have the same understanding. I don't really care, just do what you want. And of course, he made the most iconic illustrations. He did away completely with the idea of illustrating the product and just illustrated the perfume by using an elegant swan with a black bow tied around his neck. And from that moment on, Greux illustrated Dior. It actually became almost the brand. You know, he invented the perfume brand for Dior. He was very clever in the sense that he kind of turned stereotypes of both sexes on their head. So he in a way presented man as a sex symbol, you know, rather than woman. Men would be depicted just coming out of the shower quite wet, and it was scandalous in the 60s to show that. He would have a man reclining in his armchair, but instead of a whiskey glass in his hand, he'd have a bottle of Eau Sauvage. One of the greatest things I think about Greux was his ability to capture the essence of a movement in just a single line. So you do have these wonderful drawings that are like a snapshot of a photograph with these women in movement. So they're striding down the street, or they're leaning their head on their hands. And they're so evocative, and I think Greux was a master of that. And he seems to be able to encapsulate this wonderful chic elegantness that we all kind of aspire to and we never quite get to.